Hey guys, welcome back to Bird's Tender Nest. I'm Robin. I am a stay-at-home mom. I work from home. I have a YouTube channel that I am working on building. Today I actually reached 100 subscribers and we got our own URL, which was my first goal, and I reached it. The way that I make sure that I reach my goals and take care of everybody else and put all of their needs before mine is what I'm going to talk about in this video. As a stay-at-home mom, I don't get a lot of time to myself, to put it bluntly. And I am the type of person who needs time to myself. I actually kind of refill my cup that way. So in order to get that in my life, once a week, usually on Mondays, I drop the kids off at daycare, summer camp, the babysitters, a friend's house, wherever, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, as long as they're safe. And then I just spend time with myself. Sometimes I do get together with a girlfriend, but that counts as me time too, because, you know, adult interaction is also vital in my life. I mean, sometimes I'll just run errands. Sometimes I will just stroll up and down every aisle of Target. It doesn't matter really what I'm doing as long as I'm by myself. Sometimes I work. I mean, at least I'm by myself. This morning I had to work. I had to do a clip from one of my jobs, and I just finished. Another thing that I do for my me time, which I need daily, is I will make sure that the kids get a nap every day. And I'm aware that some of my children are too old for naps. However, they're not too old for quiet time and time for us to all decompress and just spend a little bit of time with ourselves. So for my older kiddos like Thomas, I would say definitely don't need a nap in the middle of the day, but you can go read a book for a while because he loves reading. Elliot can choose to either nap, which hopefully he does because he's a ball of energy, but on the days he doesn't nap, it's fine. As long as he's in his room having quiet time, he can play quietly with his toys or with books in his room. It doesn't really matter. But Nora is still at an age or a time in her life where she still naps every single day. Once she's too old for naps, we will still have quiet time every single day because we've just spent the whole morning together. We've had lunch together, and now it's time for us to decompress for a couple hours, and then we can continue with our day, and we'll have a nice afternoon, and then we will have dinner together, and then the whole bedtime thing happens again. So what happens on the days that I don't get nap time, or we are too busy to stop at home to take a nap, because obviously there are lots of days like that? Well, to be honest, what happens is my husband comes home from work at night, and he stays up, and unfortunately sometimes he stays up later than I'm hoping. This is going to sound awful, and I love you, Eli, and you know this, but I will literally wait for him to go to bed. I won't say, hey babe, can you go to bed because I need my me time, but I will wait for him to go to bed, and then I will stay up usually 2 hours past that so that I can have a couple hours to myself. And as much as I treasure sleep, which trust me, I do, and that's further down on my list of things that I do for myself for some self-care, I need that time to myself. And even if I'm up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I just suffer with a little bit less sleep the next day, and at least I got my time to myself so that I can be fresh for the next morning. Another thing that I do for my self-care regimen is I enjoy going to a class. Lately it's a meditation group, and it's a really cool experience because it's different from when you just sit and meditate with yourself. If you don't know if you have one in your area, go on Facebook in the events and just search meditation group, and you'll be surprised what pops up in there. So luckily I found mine a different route. Someone told me about it, but I do know for a fact that they have Facebook events for ours. So I would be able to find it that way as well. The next thing that I do is, and I have not been doing this lately, but I'm definitely getting back into it now that the sun is out and shining and the weather is fair. It's going to be good to me. Is I will wake up before anybody else in the house, before my children who are early risers, before my husband, before the dogs, before the chickens, everybody. I'm up. I have a cup of coffee by myself, and then I will do something as far as, usually I'll go down to the lake. We live less than a mile from a lake, and I will either go for a little hike, I'll just go for a walk around it, or sometimes I will just sit next to the lake and meditate and just be in the moment. I might say a mantra to myself to help me through the day that I know is coming ahead, that I'm, maybe something is stressing me out about the day, and I'll just have a mantra that I'll repeat to myself that will help me cope with that. Sometimes it'll just be me sitting and listening to the water hit the shore. I love being outside and I love being near the water, so I love to do that just for myself. Sometimes I don't have enough time for that because I might sleep a little later than anticipated, and in that case I will just go for a walk around the neighborhood, or I can go down to the basement because we have kind of a workout area down there. So I just try to do something for myself that doesn't involve anybody else. And then when the kids wake up, I am fresh. I am ready for them. I'm ready for the day and to be the best mom that I can be. Because when I wake up to the kids, I'm not always the best mom I could be, because I wake up to, demands and screaming and crying. And I'm not saying they never wake up in a happy mood, but I'm just saying that it's hard to wake up to having to do for others like straight away. Like you just have to instantly start taking care of other people, and you don't even have time to like think about anything, like, because that's how it is when you have little kids. Like you just have to wake up and go straight into mommy mode, and that's not that easy for me. So I will just, if I wake up early and I do that for myself, it does make my days a lot easier. Why don't I do it all the time? Honest answer, I am not a morning person. I am drinking coffee right now, and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I had to wake up for an appointment this morning. I am tired, so I am not a morning person, and so it is really hard for me to just get up and do that all the time. I have to start motivating myself, and then I'll eventually get up and do it on a more regular basis. But if I like skip a day or two, it's like out the window and I have to start all over again. I've been working from home for over a year. 2 years? Who cares? It's been over a year. No, it's been over a year. Okay. I've been working from home for over a year now, and I no longer get that feeling of like not having something in my life. Another thing that I do to help myself feel myself and more than just serving other people is I start new projects. Like decorating our camper was a really fun project for me, and now taking the kids camping, that's a really fun activity for me. Another reason I really wanted to get a job was for myself and my self-care. Another item is I have wanted for a really long time to be able to hire someone who can clean our house. And I don't mean like come and clean up after me all the time and everything like that, but when you have 5 or 6 people living in a house all making messes, and one primary person who's supposed to clean up after them, plus do all of the, the nitty gritty, the toilets, the walls, the baseboard, it's hard to stay on top of it and take care of and have kids that you really can't just leave alone in a room to go and clean because they're young or because of, other reasons. So with having children, I can't just leave them alone in another room and just go and be like, okay, watch this movie and I'm going to go clean the bathrooms, or I'm going to go vacuum the stairs, or whatever it is that I want to get done for the day. So I have a woman that comes to my house, and she cleans my house a couple of times a month, and it makes me so happy. I'm like elated just thinking about it. Some of the things that I do for myself are simple, easy things that we can all sneak into a day. I do things that I enjoy. I'll watch a television show that I like. I will watch YouTube channels that I enjoy. I'll go for a walk with my kids. I will spend some time with my husband. I will call my grandma and tell my Nana and Papa that I love them so much. So I'll talk to my sister on days for like hours at a time. How do I get that done? Well, it's usually done during nap time. But then I'm not productive, but it doesn't matter because I had my time, just me and my sister, and it's amazing. All it really comes down to is that I make myself a priority. I don't have to, as a mom, I don't have to guilt myself into thinking that my whole world revolves around caring for other people, because I was doing that for a while, and it hit me like a ton of bricks that it was really affecting me negatively. And it's not because I don't love my children and my family, because oh my gosh, they are my entire universe, but how can I take care of other people if I'm not taking care of myself? I mean, that's all it comes down to. If I want to like go away for the weekend, or even go out with my friends for a night, go out for dinner or whatever, I'll feel guilty. Or if I want to buy myself something big because it's part of a project I'm doing, and I'll feel a little bit guilty, but you know what? I count too. I matter too, and so do you. So make sure that you do something, even if it's going to the bathroom by yourself without a hand reaching out under the crack. Like, seriously, get it done in the day. I mean, it's important to me, and I hope it's important to you that you take care of yourself and that you make yourself a priority. I didn't used to, and I mean, I was crying a lot. So I don't feel guilty anymore. I pushed that thought aside, and I just realized that I count too, and I matter too, and nobody is gonna go up to me and say, Robin, what's wrong? Like, what can I do for you? I mean, some people might, but not on a regular day. They're not going to kiss my boo-boos. They're not going to do any of those things, because I'm an adult. And I am a human being, and I count too. And so do you. So I would love to know that my friends and my family and all of you guys make yourselves more of a priority. If I do all of these things for me and still fit in taking care of my kids and being a good wife to my husband, then so can you, right? I need to do more things for myself. I need to start putting myself more at of an importance as far as, making sure that I get other things done for myself. Like, I want to lose weight, and I keep struggling with it because I'll start something and then I'll never finish it, as far as like a diet or anything like that, because it doesn't fit into my family's mold. And I need to realize that I am part of that mold. Like, sometimes it's just like one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. Start doing something for yourself, whether it be trying to lose weight, or get more muscular or fit, or getting a cleaning lady, or just going for a walk by yourself. I mean, just try to make that happen for yourself in a day. If I didn't do these things, I think that I would be a mess. Being a stay-at-home mom is such a luxury that I know that others can't necessarily have, and they would love it too. And I'm not saying I don't love it, because I do. I love being a stay-at-home mom, but it's not easy. It's not just about you. It's about having to take care of a lot of other people and putting their needs before yours. So you need to carve out, or I need to anyway, I don't know, I can't speak to everyone else, but I think it's important to carve out part of your day, or part of your month, or part of your week, or part of an hour to yourself, and just make yourself a priority. Even if it's just sitting and having a cup of coffee on the back porch while you look at your chickens, which I do. And let the chickens free range in the backyard. That is so peaceful to me, and I have no idea why. Another thing I do for myself is I'm a vegetarian, and unapologetically. So many people give me a hard time about it, and how much easier would life be if I wasn't a vegetarian? I mean, I wouldn't have specific dietary needs when I go to people's houses. They wouldn't feel like they have to accommodate that. You know, grocery shopping would be easier. There's so many things that would be easier, I'm sure, in life. But the point is that I want to be a vegetarian because of my personal needs, and I don't push it on anybody else. I don't give anyone a hard time about them not being vegetarian. But for me, something that I do for myself is that I'm a vegetarian. I've wanted to be a vegetarian my whole life, but it wasn't always something that was easy because I was also a picky eater as a teenager. But now that I like a lot of different foods, I'm able to be a vegetarian and remain healthy. So something as simple as choosing to be a vegetarian. That is something that I do for myself. What do you do for yourself? Let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video to all your friends so they can feel inspired to do things for themselves as well, and make yourself a priority. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on our next adventure.